a interesting couple of sessions with this group. You helped a god remember who they are. You helped rescue Foster's parents, who had turned their entire town to stone to protect them from this entity that is basically, it's just nightmares. It's nightmare fuel, quite literally. Korrin was able to not only realize what it is, but shake it off with no issues, while Philomena and Punk Bubbles had a very specifically bad time facing their worst fears. And we got to see a little bit about Punk Bubbles' backstory, so that was fun. No one knows that still, but none of the audience knows. Korrin found another gift from Tybalt after having to fist pump the cat god statue. Now you have Tybalt's fangs and Tybalt's claws, which allows you to do more damage and knock things off of things without physically touching them. Because that is just the most cat thing to do. You're also better at stealing and sabotaging. You're able to kind of sort of break the curse that was on the weird little statue. Korrin, you figured out that the reason it was giving off such nightmare energy is because everyone believed it was cursed. And before that, it was just a random, vaguely menacing looking statue. So you and Philomena were able to not only stop that, but change it into more of a protective entity. Everyone who had been petrified was restored, and you were invited to stay the night as Philomena got the lovely, awkward experience of meeting her wife's parents, who haven't seen her wife since she was like 4. Well, no, she would have been 6, because I think she's like a year different from you.
Yeah.
And you also found a journal that someone had left behind. That was someone who was attempting to find Haldir, who was an elven bard who disappeared very, very, very long time ago, and bards have been trying to find him ever since. As far as anyone knows, no one has. This person got close, and in the journal you saw a drawing that matches the locket that your mother left with you, Philomena.
That's weird.
You also got to talk to your god, so that was fun.
That was interesting. It was an interesting experience.
Yeah, got some answers. Forgot to ask who she is.
Yeah,
Oops.
it's fine. I feel like that's a thing that I have to find out for myself and not something that should just tell me. That's my excuse anyway.
Fair. You also had other things on your mind, and it was your first time talking to her, so it was a weird day.
It's a weird day.
Yeah, she told you to go and talk to Haldir, because he knows something that you need to know. He can tell you something that you need to know before you go and face down the warlord. And Edwin, Foster's dad, is pretty confident that he can transport you to wherever you need to go once you figure out where that is. You all get a good night's rest. I imagine at least Philomena and Punk Bubbles are tired, although I don't think Punk Bubbles actually needs to sleep.
It's debatable.
Well, I think we decided you don't have to, but you can.
Gonna roll the die
Yeah.
I always roll when we sleep.
Why are you rolling a die whenever you sleep?
Don't worry about it.
But I am worried, Lex. When people roll dice without explaining why they're rolling dice, that concerns me.
Look,
Now you know how it
Punk
feels.
Bubble is an enigma.
Do you have a random weird things that could happen to Punk Bubbles' table?
Maybe.
I thought that was my job to have one of those. Everyone gets a good night's rest of some sort. I don't know what happens with Punk Bubbles.
That's a concerning statement to hear from your GM.
Look, I'm just saying, every now and again, when we take a rest, I've made the statement that Punk Bubbles is a little bit bigger.
Still not the weirdest thing that's happened in this game. Punk Bubbles, you can also answer. I don't know if you dream, but you might think about something. I don't know. I honestly don't know most of the time when it comes to Punk Bubbles.
I don't think Punk Bubbles
Look.
does either.
No.
Once again, with the concerning statements from your GM.
Look, Pump Bubbles is just a pile of yes and, okay?
And we stand.
So what do y'all dream about? Or do you want to roll to see if you have a good dream or a bad dream?
Let's do that one. That seems more
That's always-
interesting to me.
I'd also help you figure out what you dream about.
That's a 3.
You have a bad dream. You have a nightmare.
You've been traumatized.
Mm-hmm.
Oopsie twama.
What is this nightmare that you have?
I am in my bedroom, and all of a sudden spiders start crawling out of the walls.
I hate that. Thanks.
Yo, we love a good wall spider.
Yeah, no, that's a real dream that I've actually had, so.
And I think as that happens, you start to run. And you run and you run and you can't seem to get away. And then it's like the world around you is starting to crumble and unmake itself. And you're like, you need to get somewhere, but you don't know where it is. You don't know if you can get there in time. And then the ground gives out beneath your feet and you are falling once more. You see Foster trying to get you, but she's shot out of the sky and you are left falling until you hit the river and then you wake up.
Well, that sucked. Okay.
So, Korrin, let's get the roll for what kind of dream you have.
I don't know. I felt like I had a pretty good day, so I should have a pretty good dream.
Do you want to roll for it, or?
Well, that depends on if we want the dice to decide or me. Because I just rolled a nat 1. I rolled a catastrophe.
Oh.
Korrin backstory. Korrin backstory.
No, that means I have to come up with some backstory.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be backstory. What does your nightmare look like?
Wait, hold on. Are you telling me Punk Bubbles is more of a backstory than Korrin?
Probably. I just vibe, bro.
That's fair. What nightmare do you have, though? With what you know of Korrin, what's happened, what nightmare do you have?
Based off the day we just had, I imagine it actually will involve the warlord. Not anything I know about him, because I've never seen this guy. I've only heard stories, but because when I was communicating with the statue, I could feel his eyes. And that's never happened, and that shouldn't happen. That shouldn't be able to happen. Like, that is more powerful than I would have expected someone to be, and I know this is probably what we are about to go to face. So that left Korrin a little shaken. What could start as a normal dream of the surrealist wandering through the woods, you turn a corner and you're somewhere else, climb a beam of moonlight and you're in a statue garden type of thing, suddenly the stone comes alive, but that rather than being this nice experience of, oh, tell me your story, I'll tell you mine, it just turns into twisting dark figures encasing everything and crumbling. Everything takes a dark turn, and it's like, this is a nice dream. Oh, never mind. Get me out. Except you don't know it's a dream.
Yeah, and you try and escape this darkness, and you can just hear the voice echoing, the voice you heard telling the stories about the statue, but it's telling the stories about you. It is telling everyone who will listen that you are a monster. And you try and tell people it's not true, but no one is listening, and slowly but surely you become the thing you fear the most. You become that nightmare twisted thing you saw when your dream turned. Except this time, there's no one that is going to come to save you. And you hear just this whisper. Your god will fall, just like all the others. And you feel something tap you, and you shatter into 1,000 pieces and wake up.
So,
And
gang, how we doing today?
Hey, PB, do you want to roll to see what you dream about? If you dream, do we want to roll and see?
Natural 20.
Of course.
No, that's a bit. That would have just been funnier.
That would-
I got an 11.
That's still a success.
So, what do you dream about, or what is Punk Bubbles thinking about?
Oh, just in like a colorless void, but with like another Punk Bubbles there. Just hanging out.
PB is just vibing.
Yeah.
He's just vibing.
Yeah.
He's just having himself a good
Like
time.
you do.
Well, I almost picture that Philomena and Korrin both jolt awake around the same time. And it's like an hour before sunrise, just close enough to sunrise that there's not much point in like going back to sleep, but also like it's still kind of annoying that you're up so early. And you've both had terrible dreams, and Korrin, you cannot get that voice out of your head that says your god will fall just like all the others.
If you're both awake and you look at PB, it's like noticeably bigger than when you met them. They're like kind of leaking out of the barrel at this point.
Is she okay? Girl! You need a new fit.
I was gonna say, he's a growing boy. He's a growing slime. He just needs a bigger barrel.
They keep consuming snails.
Uh-huh.
So Korrin, Philomena.
I think Korrin would pretty much just like climb out a window and go sit on the roof.
I'm gonna make you roll for that just because you got a catastrophe on what kind of bad dream you had.
14. So there.
Okay. You do not fall off the house as you climb out the window onto the roof.
And just gaze at the stars waiting for the sunrise. The world is still here.
Trying to ignore that voice in your head. That just... It's not a constant echo, but it's random enough that just when you start to forget about it, it comes back.
Just breathe and listen to the birds wake up.
That's intrusive thoughts, baby!
Ew.
And Philomena.
I'm gonna go to the roof too.
Roof party!
Can I also have a roll? Are you climbing out a window or trying to take a ladder or something?
Well, I do recall that this is a thing that happens sometimes. Is that Foster would go to the roof and I would follow her somehow. And nobody was really sure how I got up there.
You found the spot where she
I found
climbed
a
up.
spot. Yeah.
You had a rough day and not very restful sleep, so I'll have the roll again.
5.
You start to, and then you get to a point where you realize you can't go up farther, and you can't, get back down without falling, and you're not sure how long you can hold on to this piece of wall before you fall.
Oh.
So there's just, a halfling dangling off of the wall, a foot beneath the
Like you
roof.
A dangling.
Do you ask for help, Philomena?
I just fall. Fuck it.
God.
Yes, of course, as you're staring at the stars. You hear this loud thud that sounds like someone just fell out of the window. I'll say high or low for how tall if this building is 1 story or 2. Casey.
Low.
It is a 1-story building, so you only take 1 point of harm as you fall out the window.
Twist your ankle.
Just falling hurts.
Yeah.
You alright?
Ow.
Philomena,
How can I climb up a temple but can't climb up a fucking house?
Philomena, you look up and you see Foster's mom is creeping around the corner holding a sword, and she relaxes when she sees it's just you. Oh, are you okay? What happened? What are you doing out here? Is everything alright?
Yeah.
Comes over and helps you up. Dusts you off a bit, fusses over you like a mother hen. Just a little bit. Props her sword against the side of the house.
It's a little uncomfortable and I don't really know what to do when she's doing it.
Once she's sure you aren't, like, seriously injured, she does stop fussing a little bit, but she is going to, like, escort you back into the house.
Okay.
And you see her husband, Edwin, is just... He had been, like, poring over a bunch of stuff and just, like, fell asleep at the table. He's got a blanket draped over him. Also, before she goes in, she does call up to Korrin on the roof. Breakfast should be ready within the hour if you're hungry.
Fantastic, thank you.
There's a ladder around the back of the house if you need an easier way down.
Oh, no, I'm fine.
Yeah, so she starts bustling about the kitchen. Edwin sleeps through all of the noise as she fixes breakfast, but then she walks up, puts a cup of coffee next to him, and just immediately he is awake and reaching for the mug of coffee. And you see one of the books that he was poring over was that journal that you found. Punk Bubbles, have you joined everyone in the kitchen, or do you just kind of hang out in the living room, or...
I have not joined everyone.
You're vibing over in a different room.
Oh, yeah. Vibing's the word.
What-
You found like a little storage
What
book.
color are you, PB?
You don't know. You're not there.
I'm on the roof.
So eventually breakfast is ready, and I'm assuming, Korrin, you come down for breakfast.
Yeah. I should probably use a door.
I mean, they're not going to judge a whole lot if you use the window. Just be careful. I mean, you did save them from being petrified for another 20 years. So.
Just a little knock before I come in. Anything down here?
Yeah, it's closer to like 15 years, I think, because I forget that Foster and Philomena are like 23, 24, so it's been about closer to 15 years.
I'm 25.
I was ballpark right about the age.
That means we're like the same age. Probably.
Hey,
Yeah.
Punk Bubbles is like 2, 3 maybe.
we stand.
We don't know how to count slime years. There's not a lot to go off of.
Punk Bubbles is a baby question mark.
Nope, full grown man.
Full grown question mark.
Yeah.
So breakfast is a little bit hodgepodge, but it's surprisingly hearty considering you're not sure how good their food stores have been recently. It's a good thing we have a lot of hunters, and most of them had their weapons on them when we did the petrification ritual, because we've been able to start getting enough food to last us until we can find a nearby town to buy something. Yeah, that's gonna be weird, rejoining the world. Edwin, honey, please put the books up while you're drinking coffee. You know how upset you get when you spill it. Just very sheepishly, folds the books up, but in such a way that he doesn't lose his place. Carefully pushes it out of the way a little bit, almost off the table, but not quite. And then almost curls up around his coffee.
Oh, that's so tempting. Korrin's just gonna look at the books side-eyed and I won't. But I could.
But you could. Flex your little toe beans. Just thinking about it. It's you could almost hear Tibble be like, I mean, I'm not gonna judge if you do. That would be very funny. Where did your little friend go? The barrel one? Edmund perks up. Yes, I would love to ask them some questions. I don't know how well they can answer, but I have many questions. Do you think they would let me take a sample?
If you ask for a handshake, you get one whether you want it or not, usually.
Good to know. I still feel like it's rude. I've been told it's rude to not ask first.
They are correct. Whoever told you this, they are correct.
I do think about now. PB walks in the room back to the original size you met them at. They walk into the room, go, and just get a cup of coffee.
I feel like she had been fixing a cup for Philomena or for herself, and you grab, and she's just well, good thing the coffee kept well. That is one thing that we very carefully preserve in this house, because he tends to forget where he puts it. Edwin is pointedly avoiding eye contact at this statement.
Yeah, gets a cup of coffee and just kind of like shoves the entire mug into the barrel.
Don't forget to give
Edwin
it back,
is watching.
Punk Bubbles.
Oh, okay. And just spits out coffee.
No, the mug, sweetheart.
Oh, okay.
You can keep the coffee.
Reabsorbs the coffee. Spits out the mug.
They're still learning.
Edwin is like frantically scribbling notes on this little notebook that you didn't know he had. Excuse me, sir. Can I have a sample? You're just one of the most fascinating things I've ever seen. And I have lots of questions, but I understand if you're not comfortable with that.
Okay. Punk Bubbles goes back into the room they were just in.
Oh no.
And comes back with a tiny little slime in his hand. Just another slime. Okay. And just hands him a little.
What? Are there just a bunch of baby slimes in the closet? Edwin just drops his pen in this notebook and holds
My
his hand
God,
out.
they're multiplying.
What I've been rolling for every rest is for how long till Punk Bubbles until mitosis.
Edwin just like takes it reverently. He's like, will not take his eyes off of it. Because like, well, he's gonna be staring at that for at least the next hour. Is anyone hungry? It'll be at least an hour before we can get his attention away from it. I don't think he's going to stop obsessing over this bird. Looks at the way her husband is staring at the baby slime.
Yeah, the eyes on it, they do not ever blink. They can only, like, very delayed wink, wonk separately.
With a slight squelching.
Yeah.
She opens the drawer, pulls out what looks like a giant petri dish almost, walks over, sets it on the table for him to put it down, and whenever he's done, just staring in wonder.
Perfect.
Oh yeah,
perfect.
Korrin's just full head tilt.
The other, like, 15 slimes have, like, scattered to the wind now.
Wait, no, they have no natural predators!
Yeah, you're right. I'm an invasive species.
Oh my God.
They're usually pretty chill, though. So, Philomena, how are you reacting to the fact that Punk Bubbles apparently just had a bunch of babies in the closet, and you only know where one is?
Full head down. I'm not thinking about this today.
Fair. Greta puts out a plate of food for Korrin and Philomena. Puts out a plate of just like random scraps that looks like it's like leftover stuff from the food that she made in front of Punk Bubbles. Just a fair guess that they will enjoy the random leftovers.
Yeah. Just expends a pseudopod over the table, just swipes it all in. Okay, thank you.
Part of me really wishes I could justify there being like scrambled eggs or something, so just, like it just resembles the slime. Just stare at it.
Well, there is probably like some sort of eggs that have been cooked, as well as like meat and like berries.
I could just look at the slime, look at the eggs.
The slime is probably a mixture of various different colors. The little baby slime is new. It hasn't figured out emotions yet, so it's just all of the vibes all at once and just staring contest back with Edwin. Philomena, I think you recognize the look on his face and you agree that it's probably going to be at least an hour before he will actually look away from this thing that is in his hand.
I'm gonna take one of the berries and like slip it underneath in front of the baby slime.
He little pseudopod like goes out and like slurps it. And now there's just a berry floating around and Evan's just, oh. Greta just grabs one of the notebooks that was in front of him and reads over it.
I figured it would be a while before it occurred to him to do that.
That's probably a good call. Thankfully, Edwin was taking notes before he fell asleep. So I think I got most of what he figured out about where he's supposed to be sending you. There's something about the symbol being a key. Hang on. She goes and flips to the notebook where the symbol on the locket had been drawn. Looking at the notes around it. Oh, I think I actually recognize some of these scribbles. Whoever did it I guess they were trying to copy down rune code. They're bad at it. It's an alchemist thing. He's taught me some bits for whenever he gets distracted. He still has not blinked. Staring
Edwin or
at
the
baby
slime?
Both. There's just this very intense staring contest.
You should try copying its blinking pattern.
It does the blink, and then the blink, and he copies back and just keeps staring.
It's called bonding.
Yeah, I guess we have another kid now. It's not the weirdest thing he's adopted. Okay.
Just meet up with Foster and be like, hey, you have a younger sibling now. It's a tiny slime.
I think realizing just so much about Foster makes more sense now. You see where she gets a lot of it from. How weird is it seeing all of this? They're just having a very weird morning.
Look, I fell off a roof. I had a really bad dream. No.
At least this weird is more comforting than vaguely horrifying.
I can't. No, it's both. I cannot deal with this morning. So I simply ignore it.
So, as you are pretending nothing is going on around you, trying to tune everything out, eating your food, which is pretty good. I guess at least Korrin is paying attention to what's going on, because you are trying to not think about the dream you had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks like, so, the person who kept this journal mentioned something about the symbol being part of a key. And according to Edwin's ramblings, if I'm reading this right, the symbol is part of a way to find your way back to the place. It could be quite literally a key that can be used in some sort of teleportation or transportation spell to get back to the specific place where this person is. So, whoever gave you that necklace...
Oh, she knows. Okay.
You're wearing it, so...
I mean, yeah, but I assume, with my wedding pendant, it's tucked inside my tunic.
So in that case, she says, so, if you could find something with this symbol that could help, but it looks like he was able to narrow down, it would be a little bit more of a shot in the dark, but he says there's a... No, it doesn't look like he actually figured out how high of a chance of actually hitting the correct place, so...
So the key is an item with that symbol on it?
Potentially? Yes. Have you seen it before?
Yep. Every day for my entire life. Pull out the locket.
I think at this, Edwin actually does look up from the slime, but he also shifts so he can keep both the slime and you in his point of view. He's mildly obsessed, but he has been momentarily partially distracted, and he's just staring wide-eyed. Where did you get that?
My mom left it for me.
And she must have found this Haldir. If I'm reading things right, keys like this, they're not common, and you can't just make one of your own. It has to be, gifted to you. So she must have found him, and he, gave it to her so she could find her way back, and then I guess she gave it to you.
Gave is not the correct term.
I don't think Edwin reads the subtext, but I think Greta does. Whatever the circumstances, you do have the key. which means Edwin can send you directly there.
Right.
And then from there, we aren't sure exactly where it will send you, but it'll send you to the correct place using the key, and then from there you can head on to wherever you're going next.
Okay.
Greta kind of looks like she wants to, like, give you a comforting pat on the back or something, but she's not sure how you feel about being touched when you're upset, so she's not. Edwin pipes up, yeah, this should get you right there. I mean, I could send you now, or actually, no, you should probably, like, take some time to gather supplies and so forth before I go sending you off to wherever this is. Oh, I wish I could go with you, but I should probably stay here. I mean, we have a lot of work to do with the town, but also I would really like to go there. Maybe another time. He's getting fidgety because he's excited, so the little slime is mocking the fidgetiness, and it just looks like someone jostled like a little jello.
It's the jig-do.
Do you actually poke it?
Who, me?
No. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll poke the slime. Yeah.
You poke it, and it like wiggles with the poke. It like shies back a little bit, and then goes to like poke you, and like do the same motion with a little pseudopod.
So where are we going exactly?
Haven't the foggiest, but it'll be. If this is the key to get to Haldir's house, then it'll take you to Haldir's house.
Fantastic. Goes back to poking the baby slime. It needs a name.
Poke, 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 poke. It grows more pseudopods to like start poking more because there's a poke battle going on and it wants to win. Edwin is just watching in absolute fascination. With his tail, he's picked up his pen from a notebook from where he dropped it on the ground and is taking notes with his tail.
Cute.
No promises on how legible those notes are, but he is taking notes on his
That does explain some things about his notes.
I watch this for about 10 seconds and then just abruptly stand up and go outside.
PB Prime follows.
I think when Greta sees that one of your friends is following you, she decides to stay and just keep an eye on her husband to make sure he doesn't try and do any weird experiments with the slime. Also, it's just kind of adorable to watch what's going on. So, Philomena, where are you going? Just outside, somewhere in particular?
I'm not going anywhere. I just needed to get out of there.
That's fair. I don't think it's all that subtle that Punk Bubbles is following you. Unless Punk Bubbles is trying to be subtle.
It's a little subtle. I'm giving them some space. Just looking like concerned as looking as concerned as a slime can look.
Yeah. There's a very concerned slime in a barrel sitting like a couple yards away from you.
Hebe's gonna look around and just like, is there like anything nice to grab to give as a gift?
There's probably a lot of just wildflowers and like there's a lot of brush growth that took over parts of this area. Like you can still see where they had made paths, but some of those paths have started to become overgrown with like grass and flowers. And
I think PB is gonna grab a bunch of those wildflowers, shove them in the barrel, and then like spit out a flower crown, maybe. Just a really bad one. Just a really bad. It's like full of bugs and shit.
I mean, do you want to roll a 20 to see how the flower crown comes out?
Absolutely, yeah.
Because that sounds very
Okay,
funny.
so this time it isn't a bit. This is a natural 20. It's not a bit this time. I don't know if you can see it on.
I think you actually spit out a very pretty flower crown. It's very pretty, very well crafted. It's not going to fall apart anytime soon. The flowers didn't have anything weird happen to them when you made it.
Which is just so disappointing to Punk Bubbles. They wanted... This is a failure. This is not what they wanted, but I guess it'll do. They forgot the bugs.
You do see a bee flies out of one of the flowers.
Okay.
Because you somehow picked a flower that had a bee sleeping in it.
Yeah, Punk Bubble's gonna walk up to you and like tap you on the. I don't know. You're a halfling. I don't know what height that would make us.
About the same height.
Yeah, I'm like 3 feet in the barrel when I'm.
I'm a little taller than that.
Here you go.
Oh, PB. Thanks.
Do you put the flower crown on, or just hold it?
I just kind of hold it because. What color are the flowers?
They're just what I found. I don't know. They're whatever DM says.
It's like a mixture of colors, I would imagine. Different colors, different kinds of flowers. There's probably some in there that do bring back memories.
Mm-hmm. I'm just holding it, and I'm turning it, and the second I see a red one, I'm bursting into tears.
Oh. I think BB's just gonna like run into the house and like steal a blanket, then come back out and like throw it over you.
Aww. Meanwhile, Korrin, what have you been doing inside?
Well, I was probably just playing with the slime. Trying, like, maybe workshopping some names for it.
What names are you thinking?
That is the question. Blossom, Jiggly, Squish.
It seems excited about the name Squish, you think.
You need a squishy? Hello, Squish.
It does a little, what you assume is a happy wiggle.
And then Punk Bubbles runs back in and runs out with a blanket and is like, oh, I should see what's going on.
Yeah, if we can do anything, let us know, but I get the feeling we'll probably not help, so... Yeah, we'll be here.
Well, that's good. You live here.
Edwin has picked up his notebook and is now, like, scribbling notes with his hands, and then he's slowly shifting his attention back to what he'd been working on the night before, and is now working across 2 notebooks. One that's trying to figure out where Haldir lives, the other one that is making notes on his new friend. He is like put in the like little petri dish thing, and it's just kind of sitting. I think it actually just like flattens into the dish, but you see the little eyes poking out as you go out and follow Punk Bubbles to where Philomena is leaned up against the house crying over a flower crown.
I just throw the blanket.
There's now a crying halfling covered in a blanket.
Do you want to talk about it?
What is there to talk about?
Well, you didn't fall off the roof that badly. So the hurt is definitely not physical.
I'm tired.
I can imagine. You're a long way from home, little one. But there's another home where we're going.
Punk Bubbles looks like they have like another idea and just runs off while you guys let them talk.
I'll see what Punk Bubbles is doing in a second. Before you hear that voice echo in your head again, your god will fall.
Whatever you're going through, you're not alone. You have your god now. And more importantly, you have us. Friends. You can see and touch.
Was this always going to happen? Was it always supposed to be us? Was it always supposed to be me? Someone I never even got the chance to know gave this to me when I wasn't even a day old. And now it's some key to saving the world?
You're right. It's not fair. The burdens of the past get placed on us. But don't worry so much about saving the world for the moment. Maybe just think of saving your wife. That can be your world.
Philomena, odds or evens?
I went odds last time, so let's go evens.
As Korrin says that, you think about Foster, and for a moment, it's like you're somewhere else. You are on the ship, and you see her standing up on bow of the ship, and she jumps off, and for a moment you're panicked, but then you see her like flying along the side, just cackling. And then she pops up on the back and then runs up to the front to do it again. And you see there's another Daemon born with her who looks absolutely terrified by what is going on. You can see her she's like, no. As she jumps off again and just does this like little pinwheel along the side of the ship and then comes back to land on it again. And then you're back to the present, where you are. With the blanket covering part of you, a flower crown in your hand, and Korrin sitting in front of you. And Korrin, I think you noticed there was a moment when Philomena got a very far away look in her eye.
Foss has never needed me to save her.
I don't know if you have a full understanding of the meaning of save. You can save someone in more ways than one. I doubt that Foster would be who she is today without you.
You remember how she was when you first met her. Scared, nervous, afraid to take up space. You remember teaching her how to stand up for herself and how to fight dirty. You remember that she was usually the more mischievous of the two, but no one ever thought it was her. People always thought you did it, but you always had proof that you didn't do it. No one would ever expect the cinnamon roll.
I wouldn't be the same person without her either, so...
Exactly.
I guess we go find a bard.
Hey, Punk Bubbles, what have you been doing? What was your idea?
Pump Bubbles comes back. Obviously, you can say no, but somehow has a warm glass of milk.
I'll allow it.
Is it cow's milk? Goat's milk?
It's the thought that counts if it's not something you can drink.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We'll assume.
Here you go.
Thanks, PB.
You're a treasure.
I will remind you, the last time you drank a random thing Punk Bubbles gave you, you ended up getting sick and had to stay in the monastery for an extra 2 days.
Yeah, no, I'm not drinking this. I'm gonna hold it, and when it seems like PB isn't looking at me, I'm gonna toss it.
That's fair.
Hell yeah.
So y'all heading back inside?
Yeah.
Sure.
I kind of want to just take the flower crown from her hands and put it on her head.
It's just a very nicely made flower crown. As you set it on her head, another bee comes out of a different flower.
No.
Just buzzes away. See, you did get some bugs in the flower crown, PB.
You are stronger than many twice your size.
You are perfect dick punching height. And if there's one person who deserves to have that done to him, it's the warlord.
Yeah. Now, if only it weren't armored.
Just gotta catch him unawares. It's fine.
One step at a time. Now how about this bard?
Yeah. A bard.
Not a fan?
Well, just a presumably living legend, I don't know. Who I guess knew my mom?
We've met gods, so what's a bard?
What's a bard to a god?
I'll say I'm a little more stuck on the knew my mom part, but yeah, sure, bard.
You all shuffle back inside, and you see that Edwin has, pushed the kitchen table out of the way and is starting to draw a teleportation sigil on the floor, while Greta looks vaguely annoyed by this, but she's allowing it.
How magnanimous of her.
Oh, he's cleaning this up when he's done. He's cleaning this up and putting everything back where it goes. Or he's not getting his notes back. And you look over and you see a couple of the notebooks are indeed missing from the table, and he looks up and it's just like, fine. Goes back to frantically scribbling. It's pretty impressive work for anyone who knows even vague things about magic.
I might know vague things about magic.
I think, like, Philomena and Korrin, you might, like, have, like, a little bit of, like, theoretical knowledge. Just things you've picked up. PB, you might have, like, seen things before, but I don't know if it makes much sense to you. It's more of a,
I'll
that
roll.
looks like
I'll
a
do
magic.
it.
Go for it.
19.
Oh!
Not only do you know what he's doing, you're able to, like, assess it. This is pretty good magic. He's done quite a bit of research, and this should work, but it is missing one piece, like a key piece, something that would connect to the destination, and it's probably something connected with Philomena's locket. If not the locket itself, something inside of a locket that he would need to inscribe.
I think PB just walks up with like some chalk and like it just starts adding like, I don't know, equations to these arcane symbols to make a point or something.
Yeah, you start like adding and completing different parts, and for a moment he's like, "What are you?" Oh, thanks. This will help it go much faster. It just goes back as you start completing some of the symbols and sigils along one side while he does the other, and it gets to the point where the one for the destination is like, "Can I look at your locket?
Sure.
I want to see if we can not use the locket itself, but maybe if there's some sort of symbol on it." So, like, do you take it off and hand it to him, or
Yeah.
takes it very carefully and like flicks it open? And I don't know if the piece of paper is still inside, but he like carefully pulls the piece of paper out and like sets it to the side and is studying the inside of the locket. And he's like, "Yeah, that is brilliant." Studies it for a little longer, carefully puts the paper back, closes the locket, and hands it to you. The key was inside of the locket. It's the last piece of the puzzle, essentially. And he darts over, carefully, like, skirting around all this chalk on the floor, and draws the last symbol. And he's like, "Okay, it's ready. Now all it needs is magic to kickstart. And I'm realizing I said you should probably prepare first, but I got overexcited. Do you have everything you need, or do we need to get you something?" And Greta just, like, grabs a bag, holds it over. Dried rations, they're good. I don't know how good they'll actually taste, but they are edible. And I was also able to scrounge out some medical supplies and other things you might need. I had a feeling he would get a little overexcited, so here you go.
I think while they're doing that, PB just for him shouts. I don't think he has the ability to like scream. I don't think. He's a pile of slime. I don't know how he talks anyway. But you see him go, "Gobble-a-gobble," and the little slimes kind of come marching out. And he one time goes, "Gobble," kiss on the head, throws it out the window. Kiss on the head, throws it out the window. Just get out of here. Squish can stay. The rest of them, go. Be free. See the world.
We're going to assume this is normal.
I don't know, but I look forward to finding out with this one. I don't know how long it takes to go from this size to that size, but I'm going to find out. Goes back to frantically scribbling.
It's good to have a long-term project.
Squish has grown a couple of pseudopods and is, like, attempting to wave goodbye. Also, like, some of them are waving, the others are, like, mimicking the throwing motion.
I am now imagining Squish doing the thing Punk Bubble does with the barrel with, like, pseudopods and legs coming out of it, but it's just a petri dish, so it looks real weird. Just, like, punches holes in the bottom for little feet.
I actually picture more like, he's trying to dissolve feet holes, but it's not really working, so he's just got his feet, like, over the lip.
Perfect, yeah. Perfect.
While all the other pseudopods are poking out of, like, random parts of the upper part of the body.
He's an old man on vacation floating in an inner tube in a pool.
Basically. Except for he was just born, like, 2 hours ago.
Yeah. I'm so sorry for what I've done.
No, I love this. Squish is delightful. So are you all ready to head out, or?
Yeah, I am.
I'm as ready for this adventure as I was for all the ones that came before it.
Still have that voice echoing in the back of your head. It's not going away.
If he stays there for too much longer, he's just going to make me angry.
I mean, do you want to roll, see if you could either figure it out or shut it up?
Sure. A 7.
Oh, tough choice. You can shove it down and it'll become less obvious, but may not actually fully go away. Or if you look closer at it, you might be able to figure something out. But it will still be there.
Figure something out. Curiosity.
As you're thinking about this voice, it just keeps echoing, your god will fall like all the others. It's been happening enough that you've almost gotten used to it by this point. And then you remember something that Hyson said. Belief is a powerful thing. You remember the lie that was told about the stone, and so many people heard it and believed that it became true. Because belief is a powerful thing. And now you have this voice that is repeating over and over in your head, saying that your god will fall.
I know your tricks, you bastard.
He will fall, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Watch me.
It goes quiet for a bit, but you don't think it's gone. Meanwhile, Edwin is ready for whenever you are ready to step into the circle to go see Haldir. Y'all stepping in?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
PB fully just not understand what's happening, stands in a circle, and goes knife hands.
Let's give a little pat on the head goodbye to Squish.
Squish has also produced knife hands.
So proud.
They grow up so fast.
Well, that's going to be interesting. It's fine. He'll figure it out, I think.
Keep telling yourself that. It'll be true that way. Belief is a powerful thing.
That is true. Philomena, you remember your god said that too. Belief is a powerful thing as you all step into the circle. So Edwin says, okay, hold on tight. This might get a little weird. And he begins the ritual, and you notice the chalk lines around you start to glow in various different colors that merge and twist together, and the world around you starts to shift and flicker between two, and it is kind of weird, but also kind of cool to watch. You've never been teleported before. And suddenly, you're in the middle of this clearing, and there's this quaint little cottage in front of you. There's a little bit of smoke wafting out of the chimney, and you have no idea where you are, but you're very much hoping that's Haldir's house. And what do you do?
I think someone's home.
I am full knife hands.
Put this down.
Cotton Bubbles is brandishing their knife hands in a very menacing manner that also looks kind of funny.
Okay.
Is anyone going to approach?
I'll just look at Philomena and see if she plans to go up, because, I mean, it's kind of important to you. Otherwise...
Look, I was told no knife hands. My day's ruined. I'm staying still.
That's not how you say hello. This is supposed to be a friend.
Oh, friend? Okay.
I got my locket back, right?
Yeah, he handed it back to you after what he needed was a symbol that was on the inside.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put it back on, but I'm gonna leave it outside of the tunic. And I'm gonna go up to the door and I'm gonna knock.
You knock, and there's a voice inside that says, "Oh, come in. Tea's almost ready."
Sure.
Tea. Do you think we were expected?
In we go.
After you?
Where'd I go? I don't know if you're gonna follow me or not.
Korrin follows. I'm assuming Punk Bubbles follows, because friend.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You step inside. The inside is about as quaint as the outside is. Not a whole lot of decoration, but it still feels kind of cozy. And you see this tall elven figure bustling about in the sort of kitchen area, and you see there's a kettle over the fire. Come on in, make yourselves at home. I Imagine you were quite tired after your journey to get here.
Well, I don't know what I was expecting, but this is not it.
I was trying very hard not to expect anything.
A wise choice.
Best to not set expectations, because life has a way of bypassing them on the way to whatever's going to happen next. Come in, make yourselves at home. What are your names?
Punk Bubbles.
He looks vaguely startled by this and finally turns his attention to the barrel. And this is why you don't set expectations. Life will surprise you even if you don't have them. Pleasure to meet you, Punk Bubbles.
Okay.
Pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you. It's been a while since I've had company, but people tend to pop in every now and then.
Do they now? I'm Korrin.
Nice to meet you. As you've probably guessed since you found your way here, my name is Haldir. And yes, people have found me off and on throughout the years. The kettle starts to whistle and he goes to grab it and starts, pouring tea into cups. Does anyone have a preference on what flavor of tea? Do you drink tea, Mr. Punk Bubbles?
Bugs.
They consume really anything.
Okay.
No caramel.
If you- Oh. No caramel. Alright. Too sticky?
Ugh.
Fair enough. Good to know. If you have anything floral.
He nods and just reaches to grab something off of the shelf and starts preparing a cup. And for you, Philomena?
No, don't have a preference.
Alright, okay, let's see. He looks at you for a second. Yes, I think this one. Grabs another tea off the shelf. And since I often get random gifts from people who come to visit, I think I might have... yes. Pull something out of a drawer. This was a strange gift from a strange gentleman. But he had potential. I like to think he did well as a bard after he stopped by. Hands you the jar, Punk Bubbles, and it's just full of dried dead bugs. Apparently it's a delicacy somewhere. I don't get it. I try not to judge. That I do not get, though.
Oh yeah. Pumble goes "Ooh," and pours out still warm milk into the cup and starts drinking that with the bugs.
It's like boba, but crunchy.
Yeah, for sure.
Haldir just nods. This world never ceases to surprise me. And then brings over the floral tea to you, Korrin, and then I'll say, Philomena, you get a very kind of warm, soothing, herbal tea.
Mm-hmm.
You get a hug and a mug.
It's not your exact go-to comfort tea, but it's in that general area. And he just sits down at there's a little table with a couple of chairs. So just sits down there. So what brings you all here?
Magic. Mostly. Or did you mean not in the literal sense?
I imagine both tales would be interesting, but most people tend to come and find me because they're looking for something. I mean, that's why I'm here, after all. And why I collect so much tea. That and somehow the rumor got out that I would accept it as an offering to make it easier for people to find me, and I have not felt like dissuading them of that.
There's a man going around corrupting and destroying the gods who are awakening.
He grows somber when you say this. At first he had been just, general, friendly, enjoying company, but when you say that, I have sensed some things changing. Stories have a way of repeating themselves at times, if not always the same way, but you learn to see the patterns when you've lived as long as I have. Which, no, I'm not going to tell you how long that is. That is a very rude question.
No one ever answers it anyway.
I wasn't gonna ask.
Sorry, I get that question a lot, and I've run out of funny things to say. Although I'm working on a couple of responses. Get the feeling it doesn't get a lot of people interaction. And what's your involvement in this?
Well, he threw me off a cliff.
Well, that's quite rude.
Yeah.
Obviously, I imagine it was not quite as effective as he wanted it to be. Which, I mean, congratulations. Surviving that is quite the miracle. Well, depending on the cliff.
Miracle might just be the right word for it. I spoke with my patron deity and they said you might have information that would help.
I thought there was something familiar about you. And not just the resemblance.
They were a bit vague about what I needed to know, but there's something we need to know. And you know it, I guess.
The gods do tend to be vague. Something in the rules of this place. It can be rather tricky to straight out say things without messing things up. But if you've been sent to me, that means there's one story in particular that you're looking for, because I'm the one who found it all those years ago. It's why I disappeared and left things behind and have been in hiding here ever since. Many have come by seeking different stories. Have come by seeking magic, songs. Some have come by seeking a place where they could hide while they figure out what to do next. It's a safe place that's hard to find unless you have the key, as he nods to your necklace. But the story that I have is... It all starts... not at the beginning, but near the beginning. There's a time when this world was still young and still being crafted, when the denizens of another world came here seeking refuge. Came from some other place. And the gods who came with them attempted to hold the gods of this world accountable to not abandoning the world. Took some time, but they reached an agreement where the gods who created this world would step back and just watch over, while the gods of the other world would, you could say, take a more hands-on approach, be among the people, help them that way. And for a while, things were fine. New gods from the other world enjoyed being among their people and helping them learn how to survive in this new place, but that peace didn't last forever. Someone or something in the shadows that agitated things, stirred up distrust and pride and arrogance and greed and all manner of things until a war between the gods became inevitable. The gods from the other world saw the signs of what was starting to happen and did what they could to get people to safety, as they had done once before. They could not take them to another world, of course, but they could hide them, keep them secret. And there was one who made sure that the gods who were helping, their names were lost, but not forgotten, because if something is lost, it can be found again. That is how those gods still remain.
I assume that god, the one that lost the other names, is the one that's my patron.
As I said, I thought I recognized something about you. How do you think I know a story that was thought to be lost?
She's your patron too.
In a way, yes. It was a long time ago when I got her call and found the story that was very nearly completely forgotten. And then I found this place and didn't hear from her for a while. I think she went back to sleep after that.
Probably.
And now she's waking up again, isn't she?
Yes. So all the ones that remain are foreign gods? None of this world's originals are still around?
are a few who created who did not wish to be involved in the war, and she protected them as well. The one who is of the ground we walk upon is still around. And a few others who didn't get caught up. So, Korrin, Punk Bubbles, you have any reactions to this? Because I picture Punk Bubbles is just nodding along and just the barrel's bobbing a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Korrin's just studying her claws.
Korrin, how do you feel about the fact that your god's probably a god from another world?
It just feels like a very cat thing to do. We move on and survive. Lives after lives.
So I suppose that means we have a new agitator. Or maybe the same one? Which doesn't make sense. Because that was a long time ago and he just looked human.
Looks can be deceiving.
She said he believed he was owed godhood.
Well, belief is a powerful thing.
So we hear.
I have too, and it's starting to make more sense now. Kind of. Feels a bit like history trying to repeat itself, but not exactly. It's almost like a different game this time.
From what I can tell, history doesn't tend to actually repeat, it just rhymes.
He's impressed by this. He's like, yeah, you get it. You wouldn't happen to be a bard, would you? He says to you.
I have good ears, but bad tune.
You'd be surprised. That does tend to happen. That can be worked with. How's your rhythm?
My rhythm is fine, but strings and I don't get along. In the correct way for that.
Fair enough. You're not touching my heart.
Not if you want to keep it.
I would very much like to keep it. But if you're interested, maybe once things are done, we can see.
Who knows?
Has she told you where you're going next?
We just... Haven's Reach.
It makes sense that the story would end in the same place that the war did. History was made there, and I think it'll be made there again. And it's a good thing that you've found me here today. This house tends to move. It's how I stay hidden. And we are currently in the foothills of the mountains that lead to Haven's Reach.
Well, that's convenient.
Lucky.
I've yet to confirm if there's a god or a goddess of fate, but if there is, they have a very interesting sense of humor.
Is there a deity of convenience?
He seems to legitimately think about it. Not specifically, but there are somewhere that might fall within their domain. Not that I'm familiar with, at least. Is there anything else I can help you with, or try and answer for you?
It's the person you
Looking
gave
at-
my necklace to. What was her name?
Her name is Alexandra. She came here because she was running from something. She didn't tell me what, but she stayed a few nights. I believe she was already pregnant with you. I helped her as I could and attempted to put her in the care of the one person I trusted most. I told her that if she found herself getting very, very lost, she would end up where she needed to be. Know how long she had, but I hoped that she would be able to find the place in time to at least have some peace. I wish I could have done more. You do remind me of her, though.
You'll excuse me if I don't know how to feel about that.
That's understandable. I didn't know her well, but I did know she was stubborn.
Can't imagine.
You shut up.
I'm sorry, have you met yourself?
No, but I assumed that would be quite... Oh, you were talking to... Sorry. I think he realizes Philomena needs a minute and turns his attention to Korrin. I see you have a bit of favor yourself. You found the claws, and I think I spot the fangs on you.
Yes, well, I've gotten around a bit.
You only have one piece left.
And what do you know about that?
I've lived for a long time, and I'm familiar with the favors of Tybalt. Seen him a couple of times through the generations. I believe all that you're lacking is the tail, and that's not one you find so much as it tends to find you.
That sounds about right.
Tybalt is a weird one. But I do quite enjoy him. He's a cat. All cats are weird.
Oh. Well, maybe elves are weird.
But, oh, they are, absolutely. Also, it's been a while since I've seen one of your kind, he says, turning to Punk Bubbles.
Come again.
What?
Hello?
No, it's just me.
And Squish.
You've seen this before? And about a dozen others.
Yes, as I said, it's been some time. But yes, I have. Fascinating.
PB's internal monologue. There are more like me. I needn't have been alone all this time, minus those ones I made like an hour ago. They don't really count. They're like new. It's different. It's not the same thing. But like, I could have a family, minus those ones.
I believe they all migrated off elsewhere on the continent. They might have gone underground to clean up some of the scraps left behind after the war. I don't know. They just tend to all travel together in packs, and then they vanish for a bit, and then you see one, and then you see a couple more, and then next thing you know, they're everywhere.
They do move in herds.
I am imagining the idea that the rest of them are fucking normal. It's only Punk Bubbles that's like this.
Because Punk Bubbles grew up separate, and you don't know why.
Punk Bubbles is a punk. They're just normies.
That's one story that I've never quite figured out, is what exactly they are or where they came from. They're just kind of there.
I mean, my character sheet says I came from a test tube, so.
Maybe someone took a sample when you rip an arm off of a starfish and it regrows.
It just grows. It just keeps growing.
No one knows. Punk Bubbles certainly doesn't know. Haldir hasn't the faintest idea.
We come to find it someday in the distant future. The entire bottom layer of the ocean is Punk Bubbles.
Well,
Horrifying, thanks.
You're welcome.
Faye, the god of the ocean. Lex, please read this out for us in your Punk Bubble internal monologue voice.
Okay. Hello. My name is Punk Bubbles. Pronouns, any all. I'm less than 1 year old and stand at 3 feet tall. I'm the party's spy/doctor. When people see me, they first notice my barrel, gooiness, and viscosity. I wear a barrel and nothing else, and move with pseudopods. I'm from a test tube, where my people are known for being slimy. I believe in loyalty, but my impish side can get in my way. I dream of finding somewhere to belong.
Moving.
It explains so much. Also, it's very funny.
I didn't realize I never showed that to you. I didn't realize that.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think I ever actually asked for any character stuff beyond, hey, what are you thinking to play? I just don't ask to see character sheets. I'm like, if you want to share it, sure.
No, my brain just assumed I showed it to you and then forgot.
Fair. Very fair. So, do we have any other questions for Haldir?
Not for me.
Korrin, do you have any questions?
How do we find you if we ever want to come back?
Well, you have the key. And with the way things are going and things that are becoming known, either the world will be in a place of peace or not. So, if you're meant to find me, you'll find me again. And when this particular story comes to an end, maybe I will not have to hide so much. Though I think I might take up a different name. I don't know if I want to deal with all the attention I would get from all the bards in the world by coming out as myself. I think I could take a day of that before I will go back to my house that moves.
Well, think on it. Names can be a big change.
That's they can, and I've had plenty of time to think. As I said, once all this is done, I should be easier to find. And as for what you will be doing next, I believe there's two things that we'll need to focus on. Because if, as you said, this warlord is trying to destroy the gods, he will best do so by destroying the records of them, so those will need to be protected. Those are kept within the temples, and I believe if you can find a courier, they can show you where the rest of the archives are. He will likely be sending men to go and destroy those, so some of you will need to go do that while at least one of you needs to go to the town square. I believe that is where, or well, maybe not the town square. You'll know where to go to find the warlord, to find the one you have to defeat. I have no doubt she will show you the way. And there's a path just outside. It's hard to miss. Take that path, and within, I think, a day or so, you should reach Haven's Reach. People may already be there, but it will take them time to find the archives. Especially since I know the couriers will not be helping them. The couriers serve a god who is not only a god of knowledge, but a patron of spies and secret keepers. Not the same patron you have, Philomena.
It would more be Punk Bubbles.
Yeah. Anything else anyone wants to say or do, or do we just want to fade out on you preparing for your trek up the mountains?
I know when we're getting ready to leave the cottage, put my empty teacup on the table, get to the doorway, turn around at the door, and just knock my cup over.
You knock it onto its side and just kind of like rolls off onto the table. When it hits the floor, it doesn't actually break.
Oh, yeah. Punk Bubbles sees you do that, looks at their jar that is no longer full of bugs, places it on the table, smacks it over, and sprints at the door.
That one does break, and he's like, I expected that from the cat, didn't expect it from the barrel. Don't know why I had many expectations for the barrel.
I thought we established when we got here that you shouldn't have expectations. Sorry. Bye. Thanks for the tea.
It's an annoyed look, but it's a fake annoyed.
Punk Bubbles is just living their best life.
It's what they deserve.
Oh well, this will give me something to do this evening. Philomena, want to do anything before you leave?
Thank him for the tea.
Of course, and when all this is done, you are welcome to come back and visit if you wish. Haldir sees you all out, makes sure that you are going in the correct direction to get to the path. It'll be a bit of a hike. He's being a good host, make sure you don't accidentally get lost in the mountains.
Yeah, that's not quite the right finale.
As you start up, you go to glance back to the clearing and the cottage is gone. It's moved off elsewhere. And you have a long hike ahead of you before you get to Haven's Reach, where, Philomena, you're gonna get a second chance to kick that dude's ass. And Korrin and Punk Bubbles, you might have to go save some gods.
I suppose. I guess. If we have to.
Knife, hands, knife, hands, knife, hands.
Yes, you can throw those nice hands.
I feel like Punk bubbles knife hands the entire way up, except for when they're stopping to slurp up bugs.
No, I'm in serious mode. I stab the bugs. Huh, yeah, huh.
Good job, you got it. Well done. Don't trip on that branch.
And the barrel starts to roll slightly. But you're able to catch it before it goes too far. Korrin, you're able to use the claws to, stop it.
So, that's it. PB, you're temporarily grounded. Backpack mode. Come on.
Okay.
There's a good little one.
You look like just the weirdest bunch of hikers.
As we always have been. And always will be.